What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about 3 stocks to add to your watch list for this upcoming week that could have a very strong likelihood of a squeeze. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate it. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off with some good old data points. Tuesday is a day to watch with retail sales coming out. Forecast is anticipated to be 0.2%. But regardless though, a lot of the previous consumer linked data points has been very strong. So it is fair to assume that this data point will be no different, and if so, then that might actually be enough justification for the broader market to kind of go up a little bit based on this information. But throughout the week, there's a lot of Fed speakers that could cause a lot of volatility, both positive or potentially negative. And when it comes down to it, one specific one to really watch for is on Thursday, when good old Powell is going to be giving his economic outlook. So of course, I think in reality, that is going to be definitely a driving factor on where the market does go, at least in the foreseeable future. But over and above that though, there is a hell of a lot of big companies unveiling their earnings this week, such as a lot of the big banks. You also have good old Tesla, Netflix. So you do have a full lineup right here that, once again, depending on what is said, that could really dictate where things go. For instance, Tesla and what they are going to be talking on future guidance. Good old Bank of America. A lot of the other banks, so JP Morgan and Citi, were the Friday, so the previous Friday, and they weren't bad at all. Rather, they were quite positive. So based on these banks right here, I think that might be a little bit more of a positive thing. But when it comes down to Tesla, definitely that'll dictate a lot of the growth stocks when it comes down to that. But getting right into it though, as far as the 3 stocks that I did select, once again, not in any particular order. First one is going to be Fisker. So ticker is FSR. Based on Friday, it did go up 2.64%. Over the last 1 year, it did go down 9.74%. And year to date, 9.74%, which is kind of weird. But still, unless that's just a glitch. Regardless though, when it comes down to Fisker, I do feel that it's going to have a nice bump up because of one of which is the data points. But I do oddly feel that Tesla is going to have a lot of good earnings and say a lot of good things about the foreseeable future to really drive up the whole EV sector. That's just my own interpretation, not financial advisor, of course. So when it comes down to some of the data points, short score is 98. Utilization is at 100%, and based on Friday, shorts did increase 159,000 shares. 47.12% of the free float is being shorted. You are seeing that correct. 47% is being shorted. That is crazy stuff. And then over and above that, 88.4 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 73.8%. And looking through the Interactive Brokers short availability does indicate that there's around 500,000 shares available to be shorted. So not that much ammunition. And just quickly going back over to here though. So the percentage free float on loan is almost 60%. So this is screaming something positive. So whether it be from Tesla or the company itself, I feel like this definitely could have a squeeze. And I think this company was on last week for this same list. So who knows? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And going back over here, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as press releases, SEC filings, and many other things, transcripts from previous earnings, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. I do have a link to them in the description below for you to have a 7-day free trial, so take advantage of that. But moving on to the second stock, C3AI. So ticker is AI. This one has pulled back quite a lot over the last little bit. So Friday it did go down 2.1%. Over the last 1 year, it is up 103.37%. And year to date, it is up 123.58%. So definitely has bounced off of the lowest, which is around $10, $11. I was happy to buy C3AI at around 12. Since then, I have gone out. I think I sold out around 20. So I'm pretty happy about that. But regardless, though, it is the data points that is why it is on here. So short score is currently 74, utilization is 81.63%, and as far as what shorts did on Friday, they increased 3 million shares. 41.04% of the free float is being shorted, and 40.81 million shares overall are being shorted. So fairly high. Cost to borrow average as well is 8.6%, and through the interactive broker, short availability does indicate that there's around 150,000 shares available to be shorted. So once again, as I've indicated in the past, because I've done dedicated videos to C3 AI, this company does offer a lot, and especially I think the forefront of the whole AI movement is Palantir, so PLTR, and they definitely are doing a lot. So I feel like C3 AI isn't where the Palantir movement is as far as advancement, but it definitely should not be at this level and this heavily shorted. So I feel like right now just shorts have overextended themselves. So if the market does in fact start to rebound, a lot of growth stocks that have been hit, such as C3 AI, are going to go up pretty significantly. So that's just my own interpretation. And finally, the third stock is good old Upstart. So this one has been on the list in the past. So based on Friday, it did go down 2.2% over the last 1 year, 11.51%, and year to date up 110.47%. So this one definitely had a very good rally up to around $72 in August. So obviously since then it has pulled back considerably, but when it comes down to it, the data points as well. So that's something just to kind of keep in mind. So short score is 70, utilization is 77.97, and it does indicate the percentage free float on loan is 30.67%. And as you can see, the short interest right now is 36.49. So a very, very clear indication that there is a lot of naked shorting that is happening. 26.29 million shares overall are being shorted, and based on Friday, shorts did increase around 42,000 shares. Cost to borrow average, that's kind of the only thing that's holding Upstart back a little bit, so it is rather low. So cost to borrow average is 1.71%. But no matter what though, when it comes to looking at the minimum, this is a very clear indication that there is some sort of manipulation happening, because the cost to borrow minimum is negative. So it's negative 0.15%, meaning there's actually a broker out there, oddly enough, paying people to short Upstart. So very weird, messed up stuff going on there. And through the interactive broker, short availability does indicate that there's around 650,000 shares available to be shorted. So in all three cases, I feel like shorts have overextended themselves very much. And with a lot of the potential earnings and data points coming out, this could make things very interesting for shorts in a very negative way, of course. So let me know your thoughts on these three companies. Potentially, what else do you see maybe squeezing? Is there another stock that is on your radar? Because there is quite a lot. There's a lot of stocks that have been completely hammered as of late, and especially with all the risk that's been out in the market. Like shorts have really hammered quite a lot of stocks. So let me know if there's any on your radar that you do want to bring up. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And don't forget to take advantage of this promo that I've been sharing with you. It's been extended up until October the 15th. Sign up for an account with MULN, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all of that said though, I appreciate all of you watching, and let's eventually make a lot of money on whatever floats your boat.